Greetings and welcome, everyone. Ever since our first video together, How to Attract Your Special Sum Pony, Mrs. Wolf and I have received quite a few requests on continuing the conversation on how to build and maintain a healthy relationship. So my lady came up with the idea on discussing love languages. Or rather, explaining that how one person expresses love and how they want to be loved may not be the same as how their significant other expresses love and in turn how they want to be loved. There are many different ways of showing love, like through words of affirmation, spending quality time together, giving and or receiving gifts, acts of service, and of course, physical touch. Now, I imagine most everyone would like to have all of these elements in their relationship, and we really should be striving to include all of them in at least some degree. But this discussion is about how people find certain elements of love language to be more meaningful than others. And my lady and I would like to go through a few examples in the hopes of encouraging some further discussion in the comments below. And for those of you who might be wondering, Mrs. Wolf is still very hesitant to record her own responses, so I will be doing my best to voice her perspectives here. To start off, let's bring out a couple of choices. It's more meaningful to me when A. My partner gives me something that shows he or she was really thinking about me, or B. I hear praise from my partner. From Mrs. Wolf, between these two, I would choose A, because I know that the old saying still stands true, that actions speak louder than words. For me, actions are more genuine and heartfelt, and this would require the other person to put some thought into what they do. When Doc and I were in college in 2004, I came home to my apartment to find flowers in the living room. I read the attached card and found out they were from Doc. He had stopped by while I was away to my college class at the time. The card read, "To one whom has been my good friend, I hope that you shall enjoy this day today." It was a sweet and simple gesture from a friend. It's things like that that really mean a lot to me, and I've kept that card even today, 13 years later. I'm rather flattered that you've held on to that for quite so long, my lady. And I admit there are many circumstances where I can appreciate the first option like you do. But for myself, I believe the second option will be more meaningful personally because I want to feel that what I do has purpose. It truly makes a world of difference to know my significant other believes in what I do and supports my endeavors. Knowing that she is standing by my side in my daily struggles grants me far more strength and endurance, and makes me feel loved. It's more meaningful to me when A. I can spend alone time with my partner, just the two of us, or B. My partner does something practical to help me out. From Mrs. Wolf, I'd choose the first option again because it can be really nice spending time with a loved one. One example comes to mind for me. One day since we've been married, I was off work, and Doc calls me from work to say he's finished with his tasks for the day and wanted to know if I wanted to spend the afternoon going mini-golfing. It was pretty surprising to me, and yet a very good surprise. Not only was it an enjoyable afternoon, but I felt Doc's mind was tuned into our time together, and he really wanted to be there with me. It was a good day. It is nice when we can spend time together and not have to worry about anything to work on. More often than not, though, daily life does tend to get in the way, so for myself, the second option tends to be more meaningful to me. When my lady and I are focused on getting through many different tasks together, and at the end of the day there really isn't anything left for me to stress over, that really makes more of a difference for me personally. It's more meaningful to me when A. My partner does a bit more than his or her normal share of the responsibilities we share, or B. I get a gift that I know my partner put thought into choosing. From Mrs. Wolf. Both of these sound like something I can agree with. It is appreciated when the other person can step it up and do more than normal when it comes to housework, especially if they do it willingly and without complaint. And if Doc were to put thought into a gift for me as a surprise, something to show he's learned what I like, and he wants to give the gift willingly, not out of obligation, I'd feel that could bring us closer. I can agree. This one is a bit tougher to choose between. When I know my lady is going above and beyond at home, even after she's already gone through a long day at work, I can appreciate that she's thinking about our well-being. Plus, if I know that she's spent weeks preparing something special to surprise me with, it's kind of hard not to be in good spirits. It's more meaningful to me when A. My partner and I kiss frequently, or B. I sense my partner is showing interest in the things I care about. From Mrs. Wolf. I'm less of a touch-oriented person. Well, less one to initiate touch. I grew up in a household where we really didn't touch to express ourselves, so it's not something I'm used to or not something I'd expect or have to have in life, but I recognize others may have grown up with that in their lives. Some touch I'm okay with and with some people, but I'm not one to have to touch someone to get to know them. I know that Doc and I have different interests when it comes to hobbies, and I think we don't necessarily have to like the same things to show we care about the other person, but just to be a support for the other person in the good things they enjoy doing. Basically be their cheerleader for them on the sidelines, encouraging them to expand their talents. I'm going to have to go with the second option here, which might surprise a few people out there. Many guys do tend to favor physical touch in a relationship a little bit more than the other love languages, but for me, it actually means more when my lady is showing a genuine interest in the things I care about. It means we can find more fun activities to take part in together, more projects we feel passionate about. Basically, more reason to spend time with each other. It's more meaningful to me when A. My partner does things for me instead of just talking about doing nice things, or B. I feel connected to my partner through a hug. From Mrs. Wolf. If Doc were to make a sincere effort to do something nice for me, something that shows he was thinking about me, something I really needed, the first option is what I would see that could really make my day and help us to become closer. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but just simple and thought out. Maybe even something like leaving a wild sunflower he picked from a field along the road for me, as those are my favorite wildflower. Or even a simple circus rose from a local florist would be good. As I'm less touch-oriented, a hug is less impactful. This is another area we can agree on. I enjoy both options, certainly, but having my lady doing nice things for me instead of just talking about doing nice things goes a long way. I can find great stress relief from a hug, but when I see my lady going above and beyond for my sake, that genuinely means more to me in the long run. Now, looking back at all of our answers, there are areas where we differ and areas where we are similar. But I hope our conversation encourages each of you to think about relationships from a new perspective in regards to love languages. That you may consider the idea of showing love through words of affirmation, spending quality time together, giving and or receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. If any of you might have any questions on these topics, write your thoughts in the comments below. And if you happen to have any stories to share alongside your loved ones, perhaps it may help inspire others to learn from your example. Let us know, because as always, I am Dr. Wolf, and she is Mrs. Wolf, and we look forward to hearing from you.